Basketball fans, welcome back. So the Phoenix Suns have serious problems. So this is a franchise that I can say is a failed franchise, and right now, as we speak, they are looking for a new head coach as the Phoenix Suns decided to part ways with Mike Budenholzer after a disappointing 11th place finish in the West, and it was sad because this roster, they have the one of the highest payroll in the NBA. They are paying $400 million to this roster that they have right now. And if you ask me, this is a huge overpay, and you have three players who are on max contracts, taking about 98% of the cap space, to the point where they can't even sign role players. They have no money to sign role players, and right now, as we speak, there are some rumors that Kevin Durant is being linked to the Houston Rockets, and there's a high likelihood that transaction might happen in the offseason. And they finished off this season with a disappointing 36-46 record. It was just about time. It was a matter of time the Phoenix Suns just call it quits this season. And not only that, they missed the playing tournament with their 11th place finish, and they fired their head coach after one season. So this information was unveiled to us by none other than Shams Karania. He's the ESPN insider, and it was sad because Mike Budenholzer was hired last summer on a 5-year deal worth over $50 million, and now he's out of a job, but he's still gonna get paid. And the Phoenix Suns also fired Frank Vogel of just 1 year ago, and despite a 49-33 finish, they got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they decided to part ways with Frank Vogel. And I must say, this team is sad. Kevin Durant is being shopped. No team wants Bradley Beal. Devin Booker is not happy right now because Devin Booker was on that squad that made the NBA Finals in 2021. They've never been able to bounce back to that type of success, especially their 64-win season in 2022. They got beat by Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks, in 7 games in an embarrassing fashion. And since then, it's been downhill. And they let go of DeAndre Ayton. They traded him. They went ahead and signed CP3 to that massive deal and did pan out well. And they traded for KD. They traded for Bradley Beal. Marish Beal made the huge mistake of trading for Bradley Beal, somebody whose contract uh, has no trade clause. So he's the one who has all the cards and he decides where he was gonna go. And I've talked about this in multiple videos I've been making, and it's very embarrassing for the Phoenix Suns. So this season saw the most dysfunctional uh, thing develop in that team. So Mike Budenholzer struggled to get the best out of the Suns' superstar trio in KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. There are chemistry issues. The decision to bring Bradley Beal off the bench midway through the season created tension in the locker room. Um, Mike Budenholzer had a heated exchange with KD, and it was reporting during the game. And this heated exchange with KD and Mike Budenholzer reportedly strained the relationship with Devin Booker, and this one hurt the team chemistry overall. So it led to the 11th place finish in the season in the Western Conference. So this is a team that was constructed to go ahead and contend for championships. And with this trio of KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, they've never won a series in the postseason. Last time we saw them was last year, and they got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves, something that I never expected. I was expecting that series to at least go 6 games, but it was sad. And Frank Vogel was at the helm. They brought in Mike Budenholzer, and it didn't work. So the Suns became the first team in NBA history this season, not because of a good thing, but to assemble a squad that is worth $400 million. So, which is crazy because they couldn't even crack top 10 in the conference, and you have spent so much money on that roster. And it even begs the question: was this money worth it for you to go over the luxury tax and even not make it to the you know postseason? Because even if you look at it closely, you'll see that teams that spend this record amount of money are either contending or they are one of the contenders, and the Phoenix Suns are not there. And now, I mean, the Phoenix Suns face bigger questions beyond the head coaching position. The quote unquote big three that was supposed to lead Phoenix into a new golden age could be soon broken up in this offseason because we have seen there's a lot of friction, especially with Bradley Beal, not not being able to play well. The Phoenix Suns tried to put him off let him make him come off the bench, but his productivity has been the poorest. And rumors are already starting to swirl with KD, whose cryptic Twitter activity is very inactive on the on the X platform. He has sparked speculation that he may be on his way out. And even in a previous video, I made a video talking about the various situations and scenarios that KD could have gone to, and I've even seen even NBA mainstream media talking about KD potentially going to the Dallas Mavericks, which I really don't understand, and it's bad. Devin Booker, long seen as the franchise cornerstone, and he's also linked. He's also possibly is going to be linked to a move away from Phoenix. And while this his future remains uncertain, we're not sure what's going to happen because right now, as we speak, in this NBA season, there's been a lot of trades and there's been a lot of blockbuster moves that happen, either from the players' side or even the coaching or front office side. Because right now, we've talked about Taylor Jenkins getting cut from the coaching position for the Memphis Grizzlies. We have seen Mike Malone get cut from the coaching position, and right now, as we speak, with the Phoenix Suns, you're seeing Mike Budenholzer get cut. So it's a sad situation. So the only member of the Phoenix Suns show who reportedly wants to stay with the team is Bradley Beal, and it's sad because Phoenix fans, really want this guy to go away, and Beal's no trade clause complicates any deal. And his massive contract and underwhelming performance has made him a scapegoat. And has made him a scapegoat to fans, and they've disliked him all the more because he always comes out and says, "I have all the cards. I can, I decide where I want to go. I can decide my destiny." And the funny thing is, Marish Beer traded for Bradley Beal, knowing for a fact that this man has a no trade clause in his contract. So this was crazy. So for the Suns, this offseason will be much more about finding a new head coach, and full scale organizational reset is coming. And I expect Bradley Beal to get bought out because, Devin Booker, he had a New York Knicks message, which could have worried the fans. He's one of those guys that he's getting frustrated with this squad. And Matt Ishbia right now, he might even be one of those guys that might even pull the trigger and sell this Phoenix Suns team because of how poorly he has failed. Since he acquired the team, I mean, things have just gone downhill. I feel like the Phoenix Suns are a franchise that are in the worst situation possible. That trade for Bradley Beal, even I mentioned it early, even before this season tipped off. They don't have any first round pick till 2031 because of those trades. Like right now, they don't have any draft capital. There's no draft capital coming their way. And one thing that people fail to understand is with the huge financial commitment between Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, and them taking all of that cap space, if one player is not able to play, let's say, for example, KD, he got injured, it takes away from, the team's the team's depth is shelled out because KD is taking a lot of percentage of the cap. I mean, KD's salary can sign like 5, 6, even to 7 role players on mid-level exceptions or even one, 2-year or 3-year contract. So there's there's a big problem in Phoenix. Phoenix is a problem, and they don't have any draft capital. There are players who are not producing the way they're supposed to be producing. Somebody like Bradley Beal is a shell of his former self, not looking good at all. And I must say, this has been one of the worst runs in Phoenix Suns history. This is a team that made it to the finals, and that time they had their core roster intact, and they built through their roster. And majority of the year since 2021, and the way they fell off in 2022, They have mangled that roster to the point where even the squad that made the 2021 NBA Finals is not the same one that they have right now because of the massive contracts and how many players they needed to cut so that they can be able to accommodate these players and the draft capital they had to give up. So the Phoenix Suns are done. I mean, the best thing that they can do is just try to trade or even buy out with Bradley Beal. One thing that I've seen, if this guy he has like 2 years remaining on that massive deal because Bradley Beal signed that massive 5-year $250 million contract guaranteeing him $50 million a year for 5 years. So there's about $100 million in contracts set for this season and next season because he signed that contract in 2022. So if the Phoenix Suns want to move on from Bradley Beal and he doesn't want to budge on a trade, they can easily just buy him out. I know they're going to stretch out his contract to they're gonna pay him for about 11 to 12 years if they depending on how they plan to stretch it out so that they can free up that money and free up that cap in their books because they don't want there's no reason as to why you want to accommodate somebody who's refusing to get traded. He doesn't want to waive his no trade clause. So my best advice to like the Phoenix Suns, my unsolicited advice is to just buy out Bradley Beal, look for a trade partner for KD. I've seen the Houston Rockets are there. Make sure to get the most out of that in that return. You got to get a good haul in that return and try to reset on Devin Booker. And if Devin Booker doesn't want to be there, just blow the whole thing up. Similar to what happened with the Utah Jazz. When the Utah Jazz were trying to contend, they finished the number one seed in a year in like 2021. They were not able to do it. No, they broke it up. They blew out the team. They traded away Rudy Gobert. They traded away Donovan Mitchell. Just have a full reset and just go on a full-on rebuild because if you're able to trade away these star players and you just let them go, you can be able to get like the first round picks that you can be able to go ahead and rebuild around because right now as we speak, you're not contending, neither you're rebuilding. You're just in that middle, abyss. You're in limbo. So it is a sad situation. I mean, I've been keeping tabs on the Phoenix Suns. I really wanted to see how far they will progress, but unfortunately, things are just going downhill. And the people who are getting the brunt of this is the coaches. A coach is blamed for this because they try to create an identity on this team, and the front office trying to get impatient. They get impatient on this, and the one thing that I've seen, even with this whole coaches getting fired, players getting traded away, you're seeing the front office has never been held. The front offices in the NBA teams and organizations, they've never been held to account. They make all these poor decisions and they go ahead and put it on the coaches, put it on the players. But I can even say they put it on the coaches. They try to look for a way that they can blame the coach. They can say, these guys, we've built this team around, this identity. You're not able to learn this identity quickly. Get away. Let's get a new person there. And I guarantee you, any other coach that's going to take up the Phoenix Suns is going to have similar problems to what Mike Budenholzer had. And that's just about it because, all that money committed, the front office can't even get any cap flexibility to sign quality role players. The majority, 99% of the cap is taken over by, all-star players, star players that for sure they're going to make it to the Hall of Fame, but if you look at their productivity on the court, somebody like Bradley Beal is far removed from the person that he was when he in the Washington Wizards. Sometimes I even question like the statistics that he put out when he was playing for the Washington Wizards. They were just empty stats because he can't replicate it in a contender. Bradley Beal has played majority of his career with the Washington Wizards, and he has played in one of the worst squads where he was accustomed to dropping even 30. At some point, he was the leading scorer when he was there in those horrific teams. But now he's here in an organization that is right there chasing greatness. They're trying to, go ahead and make it to the finals. And he's paired with 2-star players, but it's not enough. And he's not able to replicate the same performance. So it's telling because some players just drop empty stats and then they get that fat contract. And they kind of slack off. So hopefully they're able to buy out Bradley Beal. I don't know. If they can be able to buy him out, they can be able to, get him off their books, make sure, put him in the buyout market. Let's see who is going to get him, because when you have him, it's a detriment. If they try to run it back another year, it's going to be the same situation. It's going to get worse, and it's going to continue getting worse. So it is what it is. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below. I mean, what do you think about the Phoenix Suns? I mean, this team is just down bad. I don't think they have what it takes to even do anything significant. And there's a high likelihood that this team this team can trade away all. They can just blow it up, and I'll be happy if they blow it up in the offseason, because this season has been a crazy one. You've seen star players get traded, you see players get dropped from organizations. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Phoenix Suns pull off trades to go on a full-on rebuild. So it is what it is. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below what you think about this situation. I'm gonna talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.